Hi, so for today's meditation, first I wanted to talk to you about why I wrote it and what my intention is so that maybe you can get a deeper connection to it and gain more benefit. So if this doesn't resonate with you, you're welcome to skip this part. But for me, when I wrote this, I was dealing with very deep rejection and all the emotions that came up with it. And I was sitting in it, and I felt myself surrounded by it and feeling really upset in myself, really uncomfortable, really rejected. And if you've heard of Chiron, the wounded healer, it's like deriving healing or benefit, pulling medicine out of what poisoned you, right? And so for me, when I was sitting in there in that moment, I decided to look at myself from a third-person perspective and kind of work myself through a healing process. And then with the intention to share that with others as well so that they can derive some healing and acceptance, because that's what makes it all worth it to me in that moment. Is if someone out there can also get that comfort, get that, be able to alchemize the pain that they're experiencing from rejection, or even step into a new phase of their life where they're approving of themselves no matter what kind of confrontation they're running into. So that is my intention with sharing this piece with you. And as I was writing it, I had different cycles, different approaches come up that led me to even deeper understanding of what the opportunity within the rejection was and what that could offer me into my daily life, and what that can offer you into your daily life and how you view yourself. So if you're ready, let's get started. Hi, my love. Thank you for joining this guided meditation to release the need for external validation. This meditation will guide you to anchor your identity and perception of yourself in worthiness, independent of your external environment. To find a consistent confidence in yourself, you must root into the inner realm rather than the ever-changing external. On some level, we all know that external validation is not the deepest form of truth we can reach. The desire for external validation attaches us to the status of our environment and the shifting nature of others. If there's not a deep enough recognition and commitment to believing in oneself, it can leave us wanting more validation from others, because we have not dug that inner well to fill our sense of self-worth with. The external validation is not lasting or as deeply satisfying as self-recognition. The external shifts, it changes, and the only constant and unshakable thing that you can root your self-worth into is choosing to consistently approve of yourself. Adopt the perspective you wish to see yourself from. Then continue to validate that perspective as your truth. Root your perception of yourself deeply into that viewpoint. Loyally recommit to seeing yourself with those eyes. As you root yourself in this viewpoint, commit to seeing yourself in this way, independent of the external, independent of others validating this viewpoint. Hold your self-worth as your truth right now, rather than waiting for the universe to show you something that you can confirm your self-worth with. Think of how rich this wisdom is. To get to the point of where internal validation can reach you, you must first commit to something long enough that it begins to grow from the unmanifest formlessness into the realm of the manifested and material. The mesmerizing nature of your individual radiance is the fact it is so unique and for you alone to bring forth into this world. Since it is your own essence, you will not find it already manifested anywhere else. This means, in order for you to be seen in your fullest individual expression, you must first validate yourself as worthy, independent of anything external. You will always be the first person to witness your own creativity before it is expressed. This also means it is completely up to you to validate these seeds of possibility as worthy before others can encourage you to water them yourself. This is your job, to not water yourself down or doubt your self-worth. This requires approving your own perspective as one that matters. In fact, an even more rewarding experience is claiming your own perspective as the most important one in your mind. When you do this, it's how you can find consistency in self-worth. This is how you can find beauty in rejection. Because rejection only comes when one is committed to and maintains a form. And rejection sends you toward that which loves and appreciates every ounce of commitment you embodied to maintain that unique and individual form of expression. As we first discover this, we may not immediately find confirmation of it in the external world. This means to birth our individual gifts into the physical realm, we must first learn to recognize our own value without external validation. The question is, will you be able to recognize the potent seed within you before it begins to sprout its growth? Will you view your own approval of self as less than the perception of others? You see, the problem with placing more value on others' perception is that you cannot present your deeply intimate truth to them without first fully committing to it. This means your inner truth will never get the validation it needs to be expressed when you still look for approval from the external. Use your emotions as validation. Commit to yourself as worthy, and then the external will manifest. If you continue to use external reasons to confirm or prove your feelings as right, then you may doubt the most potent seed in your hand, simply because it has not yet sprouted enough to be fully seen by others. If you use your feeling, your perspective, your experience, as your compass and your guide, then you will discover the pure ecstasy lying within the path of living your truth. When you deem yourself as worthy enough to validate your own experiences, many beautiful things will sprout. First, you begin to recognize what is truly worth your time and effort. Second, you begin to connect to others without expectation. This realm is where love is contagiously spread rather than consumed. How would it feel to be wholeheartedly committed to being on your own side? How would it feel to be so committed to believing in yourself that you actually celebrate a direct rejection because you not just hope, but know that everything is working to support you? Can you imagine yourself free of doubt? Free of yearning for any kind of approval or confirmation? Can you picture yourself in your wildest and freest form when you aren't ever looking for validation, because you are already too deeply soaked into living absolutely euphorically yourself? Real approval comes from within. It is beyond validation and opinions that change. This is your key to freedom. This is your key to truth. You are so worth it.